Hello, I'm FPX and welcome back to the episode of my Minecraft Xbox Update Adventures Let's Play. This is the Let's Play where I'm playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the Xbox, now Minecraft Bedrock on the Xbox I guess, building stuff, killing stuff, and of course, destroying stuff. You'll see a lot of that stuff going on, especially recently, but today I figured let's actually work on something constructive again. Let's work on something that's going to be really useful for the future, because one of the nice things about switching to Bedrock is, you know, there's lots of upsides and downsides, but one of the best upsides in my opinion is there's no mob cap. If you want to spawn in 1,000 sheep, you're going to suffer in your frame rate, but it's no issue in terms of like, oh, the game will physically stop you, and given at some point the Xbox One X will be supported, I'll have even more power to throw at my Minecraft Let's Play world, and I figured we need to start a mega sheep farm. I really have always wanted to build with wool, but with Minecraft, 360 limitations, it was always such a cumbersome process to shear like 50 sheep, which would be the mob cap, and I figured, you know, I'm just not going to bother with that. However, now we can spawn in as many sheep as we like, and that's why today's video is going to be all about the sheep. I'm going to be making a sheep farm, because one of the few things I always love in Minecraft, like it's a simple thing to love, but it's something I love nonetheless, is just making farms from kind of scratch, like having 2 of an animal and then trying to get more of the animal so you can breed it more and more. So today's video is going to be all about that. This place right here, this former sheep farm that I used to farm brown wool back when cocoa beans weren't renewable. Seriously, at one point in Minecraft's history, brown used to be like a rare color you only found in chests. It's a weird time in the Minecraft game, but yeah, so I used to have a cocoa sheep back in there till it died all of a sudden from a wolf or something, and now I'm going to be using the sheep that are currently in there. I don't know why there is 2, but they're just there just always has been, to get that thing done. So one more thing I want to mention, because I realized this, I was doing this subconsciously, and I kind of wanted to point it out, because, you know, subconscious things are good in the real world. This part right here, where I've been starting my Let's Plays, I have 2 places in this world where I start my Let's Play. One is in the middle of this cave, and the other is on top of my other house. I have, you know, like that third house still, you know, the mountain house that we built, and we made really lovely, and then we built a whole moat around, and then I just kind of don't like, so we have that still, and it exists, and it is still one of my houses, but there's only 2 houses I start my videos in, and they're kind of the 2, you know, polar sides of my Minecraft Let's Play. There's like the building stuff, the destroying stuff kind of side, and then there's this place right here where I've got very, I guess like you would describe them as like constructive projects, right? Like, oh yeah, we've got a sugarcane farm that just goes up forever, for reasons, and then we've got the endless flatland, which is here for reasons again, and yeah, it's just kind of an interesting thing like that. So, yeah, the other reason I wanted to make a sheep farm today is not only because I was, you know, thinking to myself, like, it would be a really great idea if I could build if I could use more wool in my buildings so I can make some more pixel arty style stuff, but I also have the secondary thought of, like, you know what? I had to start using salmon at the end of, in the live stream replacement I did last Thursday. I came very close, like very with 4 V's, because that's how you spell very if you want to clarify that it's very, but you know, very close to dying, and I'm now using cooked salmon, and you know, I'm not happy with this. I don't like that I currently just kill sheep and cows and whatever on this big flat land, and then every now and then I come back and do it again. It's annoying, it's taking up more of my time than I would like. You know, given that really most people have a farm Minecraft, and I figured, also on the same kind of vein, let's get some good food source going. So this sheep farm is not only a sheep farm, it's going to be a food source farm until I get my, you know, like my cow farm going exactly the same. So anyway, with that said, to get the sheep farm working though, I need lots of wheat, and I happen to have a lot of wheat already, but I figured let's come to my wheat farm just so you can see what it's like, because as you can see, I've got the same multi-story design going on right here as I had over there. There's no way on or off this though. Oh wait, this is how you get on. You jump onto here, then you jump up to there, then up to here, there you go. You can see it's very intuitive. Very easy to get on top here. But yeah, no, I figured I don't want to use, like, you know, garbage food anymore. I deserve better than this, and I'm gonna treat myself to a slightly nicer farm and better food just all the time. So that's something you're gonna start to see, or we'll see. So yeah, I do intend to design this much better at some point, by the way. Don't worry, it's gonna happen. It's just right for now. I figure, at the very least, we should have the dirt and the actual, you know, the planting bit done, because that's the most important part of the farm. Then we can worry about the optics of it later, because I'll probably surround it, in fact, maybe we'll surround it with wool, and this whole thing will come full circle. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, with that said, today's Let's Play, as always, is not just discussion about what I want to do in Minecraft this week, / previous week, / all weeks, although a little bit of that too, which, by the way, I've been having a lot of fun with Minecraft this past week, I would say. Like, I'd say, like, it goes in and out of phases of, like, playing, like, a decent amount of Minecraft, playing, like, a lot of Minecraft, but I've been really enjoying all the Minecraft I've been playing. Like, big projects, I feel like they revitalize my love for the game. I know that's weird. I know most people, you know, they're happiest when they're working on like simple, you know, little bakery houses or whatever you might want to do. But to me, it's like, yeah, I'm building these big projects. I'm getting myself a bunch of blocks as well, which I can then later use for something big. And to me, that's the part of Minecraft that fascinates me. I love that in Minecraft there is like just certain regions of the game that are just more interesting, you know, to certain players and certain parts of the players. Like, for instance, for me, I find, oh my god, I just did it again. But for me, I find like the systems in Minecraft, getting the things to work so that I can do less work in the future, I love that. That's kind of like the dream in the real world too, right? Like, oh yeah, wouldn't it be nice if you could get to the stage where you had enough stuff done in the past that you didn't have to do things in the future? Kind of like, actually, I had something kind of like this when I was writing books, right? Oh, you might not have known about that, but I once had the #1 best-selling gaming ebook on Amazon, or something like that, until, you know, Minecraft put it off the store. Fun whole thing about that. But I wrote a, you know, like a guide to all of Minecraft once, or like 40 pages or something, and, you know, then you put it up for sale, and then, you know, it was pulling in, like, a decent number of sales every single month. Like, I don't want to say how many, but, like, deep into the hundreds, and maybe even beyond, and it's like, you know, that's cool. Like, having money come out of nowhere, like, that's the dream, right? Like, we all agree that it's nice to, like, work, you know, hard and get something done. But you know what's slightly better than hard work? I feel like free money, right? I feel like working hard and then getting free money accidentally, that's the good thing. Because I feel like winning the lottery, I've said this before, but it would be terrible. I buy scratch cards from time to time, but I try to keep my expectations, like, reasonable. Like, you know, I hope that I don't win the, you know, like, a £700,000 prize. I think 100,000's, like, enough to, like, feel happy with and do something fun with. But if you win too much money, then it's like, oh god. Now all the work I've done in my whole life, everything I've done up to this point, you know, all the college, all the, you know, all the learning, all the this, that, you know, making myself a, you know, human being to fit in society, it's all gone out the window with this one accidental luck thing. Like, I feel like the luck would break you at some point, and that's why I'm glad I haven't won the lottery. For the same reason that I enjoy, you know, making farms in Minecraft. It's like, you know, it's better when you work yourself to have something like that come. Like, it'd be nice if you I feel like if you entered the lottery every day, you know, of your life, and then you win it, that's a good story. But, you know, most lottery winners are just people who are like, you know, I just figured it would be kind of fun, and then I want a lot of money, and that's kind of the thing. So anyway, with that said, it's actually a fun fact. If you ever do, you know, this is like pro tips with Toycat right here, life advice mixed in with your Minecraft advice today, apparently. But if you live in the UK and you like the idea of winning a lot of money, you know, for lottery reasons or whatever, there's a thing called savings bonds. Oh, I forget the name for it. Premium bonds, that's it. And it's one of the oldest, like, savings schemes in the UK and probably in the world, like, backed by a government. Again, it's really weird that it's government-backed and owned, etc. But basically, when it's a savings account, but instead of paying savings interest, you know, interest on the money, every single, you know, every single, like, thing you have is like a ticket every month into the lottery. Again, it's like a savings lottery. You don't lose any money. It's just instead of getting interest, you get tickets into these lotteries. And the tickets are then, you know, you can win like £1 million every month or whatever. And to me, that's the coolest thing. Like, yeah, it's basically, you know, like, it's winning money. It's getting money out of nowhere. But it won't, like, mess up your life. You'll be like, wow, I'm so good with my financial decisions that I got £1 million. And I think, actually, that's kind of like the important difference between, like, you know, good money and bad money, right? Like, that's why, pro tip, if you're watching this video, considering becoming a drug dealer, I think it's kind of fun, but the fact that it's all, like, you know, dirty money and no one really respects it, I feel like that's something that will, like, wear on you eventually. Like, you know, I was very entrepreneurial to start selling these drugs and, you know, breaking these laws or whatever. But, you know, no one's ever going to believe that. They're going to instead just be like, you know, no, this isn't good. This is just, you did some bad things for this reason and that reason. And there you go, fun facts of Toycat. Put your money in premium bonds, don't sell drugs. It's a much better way to become a millionaire. So anyway, since we've gone off the rails so early on in the video, which is always a fun sign, right? I wanted to give you a quick little pro tip about repairing your shovels in Minecraft. I've given this one out before, but if you want to repair a shovel, say like I do, we could use 3 diamonds and it costs us 4, and we get it up to like 75% health, or we can use a shovel and it gets us up to full health for the same price. And bear in mind, one diamond shovel is not only going to cost us the same to go all the way instead of most of the way, it uses 2 less diamonds. So fun fact to Toycat, how to save yourself a, you know, 2 diamonds, use this. You know, honestly, like, being efficient with my diamonds is, like, the thing I need to care least about. But I like to do it regardless. Again, it's kind of, like, fun just to keep the system going. It's like, you know, some lottery winners enter the lottery again, which, for the record, is like the worst thing you can do. But some people do it regardless, because that's what they find kind of fun. So we're going to breed them again. Pro tip, I believe this works for Java at least. If you breed 2 sheep, okay, it doesn't work. Fun fact, okay, you know, it's all gone. Let me give you the fun fact that works on Java and console though. If you breed 2 sheep, the sheep you breed first is the one whose color goes on to the second one. That is my understanding, at the very least. Maybe it's just like, you know, confirmation bias, it's worked that way enough times. But that's how things feel, at least. And you know, feelings are just as good as facts in this case. They're not really. Pro tip, that's not how that one works in the slightest. But you can believe it does. And if you feel that it does, then you know other people can't tell you you're wrong. It's just the wonderful thing about the world. Anyway, so yeah, I really like certain things in Minecraft. I love the systems of like making the rest of the game easier for myself. And that's kind of what these farms are going to be. Because we're going to go very quickly over to the cow farm. Is it a cow farm or a cattle farm? I think the plural of cows is I think the plural of cow is cows. But you can, for some reason, it's always cattle when you're referring to it as like an object. And side note, by the way, cows are like one of the oldest forms of value in the world. And it's still, I still can't quite wrap my head around the fact that cows are worth like as much as like, you know, like 10 cows is like 1 house. And it's like, that seems a bit weird. Like, if you won, say, the lottery, you'd be able to buy like 100 cows or like 5 sports cars. And it's like, you'd figure the conversion ratio of like cows to sports cars would be a lot higher. Like if you offer, okay, let's just feed all the cows some wheat. Let's just make some magic happen. There's going to be a lot of breeding cows going on here, by the way. Let's just accept that that's going to be the case. Okay, there we go. All good. Everything all wonderful here. Looks good to me. Looks good to me. And yeah, we're going to be doing this partially as a way to get XP, by the way. I just realized. But mostly just as a way because I want to get a lot of cows. So many cows that I can kill them, breed them indiscriminately, and kind of move on easily like that. So yeah, that's the goal. And that's what we're going to do. But yeah, I feel like, you know, because money is just like the universal thing we can trade. It's one of the wonderful, weird inventions of humanity that before it happened, you wouldn't even realize why it was so amazing. And then after it happened, it's great. Like, honestly, I like to say this every now and then, but like, appreciating the wonders of the world we have, I don't know why I find it important, but I think every now and then, when people try to tell you that like, the world is broken, it's important to be like, actually, wait. You don't understand what broken is. You don't understand the miracle that is so much of what happens on, like, I would say, like, a daily basis, right? There are so many wonderful, amazing things in the world. And I think it's just important to, like, mention that, like, money, the idea that, like, you can trade anything for anything indirectly. Like, imagine if we didn't have money and we had to be like, okay, you have, you know, you go to the Lamborghini dealership, you're like, hey, do you guys want any cows? They're like, no, sir. We are a sports car manufacturer. We do not need cows. They will not help us. I guess maybe if they needed food. But, you know, like, and it's like, well, I only have cows and I like a Lamborghini. And they're like, maybe if you go to the engine manufacturers, you can convince them to give us 2 engines and we'll give you a car for that. And basically, you know, imagine, like, money is such a simple thing, but before money you couldn't picture it. And it's the same with, like, time, right? Like, before we invented time as a civilization. And you might say, oh, it's okay, time is an invention of humanity. But it is. The way we measure time, the way we perceive time, it's how humans, you know, it's all based on the human perspective. So, yeah, but, like, before time, how would you tell someone to meet you somewhere? Like, oh, yeah, based on the sun, when it's, like, midway through the sky, meet me over here. And it's like, well, 1, it's not midway in the sky for everyone at the same time. 2, that's an inaccurate measurement. And 3, if like, clouds go over it, it's like, well, guess we're not meeting anymore, question mark. It's kind of weird, right, when you think about so many of the basic things that we just love today that just weren't there before. And honestly, it's like I said, it kind of goes back to Minecraft, though, with, like, there are so many things that are just accepted as normal today that I still kind of am skeptical of. Where it's like I said, like, I used to have the brown sheep farm. You know, cocoa beans used to be this rare commodity, so it took me forever to realize that, like, oh, I could start a farm and then have as many of them as I wanted. And then suddenly, all the cocoa beans I had in my chest across the entire world, they became useless. And it's interesting because we're going to have some version of this in the future, you know, like, a good example, if I had to guess, would be gold and silver and platinum. I want to say platinum's a real thing. I always look up platinum and I'm like, is that real, just a gold-silver mix? And then it always is, and I'm like, nah, platinum can't be gold and silver, that sounds too simple. But, you know, platinum, gold, and silver, they're found in huge quantities in asteroids. As soon as we perfect asteroid mining, any jewelry you have becomes not worthless immediately, but it loses a bunch of value overnight. And it's just one of those weird things where, like, we can't really predict when that's coming. Just at some point, everything is gonna, change, and you're gonna be skeptical of the old system. Like, all my cocoa beans are worth as much as gold might be one day in the future. And I love the quirkiness of, like, an always changing system like that, because it's interesting to see. Obviously, it sucks that, like, oh yeah, if one day money might just become worthless, and wouldn't that suck for everyone? But no, I think money is one of the cool systems. I think time is one of the cool systems. I think the fact that we can just entirely make something that used to be rare into something common. Bananas, for instance, they used to be a luxury. Now, like, fun fact, I have a banana on my countertop that I might just let go stale and then run away. It costs 20p, like, it wouldn't be a huge downside. I'm hopefully going to eat it, but if I didn't, it would be no big deal. But again, 500 years ago, if I had a banana, it would be like, oh my god. This is the modern day Lamborghini, People would be lining up to trade me 200 cows for my banana, and I'd be like, no sir, what a bad trade for me. Why would I want your Lamborghini? Wait, did I say Lamborghini? Why would I want your 200 cows? I've got a banana. Do you not see the superior bench shape that it provides, and this and that? And I know I kind of love futurism the most. I think I've said this before, and I'll say it 1,000 times again. But I think the most valuable skill, especially in the modern world where, like, the tech industry is the biggest industry in a lot of different places, or at least the fastest growing, knowing what the future is going to be is like not only like smart, but it's also the most interesting business to be in. Like, if you can guess that, like, oh yeah, Bitcoin will be the future, invest in some Bitcoin and you'll make a lot of money. If you can say that Bitcoin won't be the future, invest in the opposite. I forget what it's actually called on the spot, but, like, it's called futures, but the reverse of futures, a stock option or something, a stock call. Yeah, you can actually bet against stocks as much as you bet for them. Which I kind of like personally, that, like, people who are, like, so sure about the future, if you really were so sure, you can always, like, throw money behind a bet. And to me, I feel like that's, like, the dream, terrible, awful job. Because, like, it's the same as, like, gambling. In fact, actually, I had this thought recently, because oh man, I messed up. I had this thought recently because I have a friend who's gotten really, really into investing in stocks. Pro tip, if you think investing is really hard, because it used to be when I was young. Like, in 2007, like I said, when I was 11, 12, I owned a website. It was a pretty successful website. And I wanted to invest, like, like £100 or something, like all the money I'd earned so far, and all the money I had in the world, into some stocks. So I was like, I think I can make this into a lot more money. I don't know why I was so sure of that, but I was just like, I'm sure I know what's going on. I made a lot of money in RuneScape that way. Why can't I make a lot of money in stocks the same way? There we go. Okay, we got 2 more sheep. In fact, should we breed them now and then bring the baby sheep? Yeah, let's do that. Breed them now, and then we'll bring the baby sheep with us all the way to the entrance. So we have to get all 3 of them on my side now. This is gonna be a mess, but it's gonna be worth it. This sheep farm will grow huge. It will grow large. It'll be wonderful. When I tried to buy stocks when I was a kid, it's really, really hard. It was like, oh yeah, you have to pay a fixed, like £10 or £100 broker fee. And it's like, well, that's just all the money gone right there. There were high transaction costs, and basically it made it not worthwhile to do. But nowadays, as far as I understand it, there are very easy apps. Again, this isn't financial advice, but I want to say Robinhood is the name for an app that's relatively free to use. But the fact that you can trade, whether real or fake, that's cool. You can just make bets. And if you think you're right more than you're not, about, like, huge trends about the world, you can turn that into big things. And I don't know if that's, like, a good thing for the world or a bad thing. Like, should being able to predict the future make you a wealthy person? I mean, oh god, no, oh man, sheep, get out of there, please no. What? Why is this the case? I have to save the sheep now. Like, oh no, that's not saving a sheep. That is the opposite of saving a sheep. Okay, so so getting sheep trapped in water. Literally death. Literally death. Pro tip, don't do that. Not good for you. Instead, bring them inside, which is going to be a nightmare, getting a sheep through a doorway. Please, sheep. Please. You can get in through here. The worst... Okay, so if I knock him out of the way, come, this way. Okay, let's just get the baby sheep through first. And then I think the big sheep, if we just line it up right. Come on, you're such a... I don't need him. He's not a part of my plan. He's not necessary today. And then we get the baby sheep in here. And my sheep farm goes from 2 sheep to 5 sheep. There we go, look at that. We're going places today. And then we breed the 2 sheep again, and then we've got 6 sheep, and so on and so forth. I do intend to eventually split this up into multiple different colours, because just out there, I'm not actually sure where it is. Okay, this is what's out there, so I'm going to quickly put the hole back. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a big multicoloured facility. Maybe below ground, maybe above it. Maybe I'll move them somewhere else eventually, with rails or something. But yeah, I want to have a multicolored facility. I want to do like this big thing where every single color of wool, I have like 50 sheep or 20 sheep, so I can shear it at a silly rate. Oh, no, I left the thing undone. Okay, this is bad news. We'll come back in here, but back in here. Okay, easy, done. And also, if we want to, we've got enough wheat now. We can get the sheep all the way up to full, and then we can breed them again, which is dodgy that we just have 2 babies. We magically turn into full ones and we're going to breed them. But let's not dwell on the ethics. Let's focus on the fact that now we've got 7 sheep instead of 6. And we can keep on doing this, etc, 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 so on and so forth, until good things happen. So, also that creeper's been up there forever. He kind of scares me, but I guess he's not a concern. I think what I want to do soon is work on the exterior of this house, because it is super, super rough and ugly. And even though it's a cave house, I've been thinking maybe it should be an okay looking cave house. Because I love the fact that it's the ugliest cave house in the world, but maybe I shouldn't love that. But then I think to myself, like, actually, I can work on everything else. Having one really ugly place is kind of important. Like, having a place that just represents what you care about is a surprisingly, I would say, important thing. But obviously that's me being me and defending myself. It's funny, actually. A lot of people will do that, where they assume, like, well, if I do something, that must be okay, and therefore that assumes that lots of other things that are related to that become okay too. Like, oh, I stole once because I needed to and I didn't have money. Therefore, stealing is okay if you don't have the money all the time, in every situation. And therefore, things that are kind of like stealing when you don't have money, they're also okay. Which is wild, because then some people are on the other side where it's like, oh yeah, I stole once and therefore I hate thieves because I hate myself on the inside. And I've never understood why we can't just be like, you know, things and people are complex. Like, some things are good and bad, and some things are complex and easy, and you know, it's like everything has to be like black or white for some people. But I always like the argument that, like, you know, there's lots of things in between black and white. You know why the novel is called 50 Shades of Grey? Because that's how many shades. Actually, it's that. I'm sure there's more than 50 Shades of Grey, but there's like 50 trillion shades of not one or the other. But yeah, if you only see black or white, then you never think of grey. You'll be like, you know, black is the best, white is the worst. And what is this grey you're talking about? I don't understand. We're going to watch the sunset together, because I value you that much, subscribers. Well, we'll talk about something that's been on my mind, especially a lot this week. Actually, wait, no, before I do, what have I been up to this past week? I discovered that my local Asian restaurant, it's called Wagamama. Wagamama? Whatever. It's in the UK. It's and it has a name that starts with Wagga. So if you live in the UK and you know a place that starts with Wagga, maybe it's the same place. It is the same place. Let's go get some sheep, maybe? There's no sheep here. There's a unloaded chunk, which is concerning, but whatever. But yeah, basically this place in Wagamama, they now have a mobile app where you can order and pay from your phone. And I've complained so much at the restaurant process. I hate it beyond belief that restaurants as a whole, they're designed for like big groups of people, mostly. Because they know that's where they make most of their money. Like, there's no such thing as a restaurant for single people, which I get, that's not a thing you need to have. But the fact that they make the process so unfriendly is like really wild to me. Like, when you go to a restaurant, if you want to pay, you got to flag someone down, then they've got to bring back a card reader, because they assume you're paying in cash otherwise. Because, you know, we live in the when would you pay cash? I guess the 1960s was the last year without credit cards. Although there were some that existed then. But, you know, this is the 1960s or something over here where we're only paying in, you know, like cash, because that's just how we like to live our lives. Okay, we're going to breed the sheep all the way to the top. It's a lot of, you know, wheat to do this, but it saves us a bit of time, and, you know, we'll go and get some more wheat immediately. And yeah, you can really see the farm starting to come together now. Except I really should dye these grey sheep a different colour. In fact, actually, you know, given that cocoa beans are so common now, I have some in this chest from back when they weren't. Yeah, I've got 2 cocoa beans. Again, these were super, super rare things I found in dungeons. That was the only place you could find them. Let's dye my otherwise... Oh no, actually, I think black is more valuable. Okay, we'll have some black sheep and some brown sheep. We'll have all the colours, bit by bit. Because it's better to breed them, and that way they'll, like, I can use less dye. So black is valuable, and so is brown. So 2 black, 2 brown. And then we'll be golden. So, You're gonna be black. You're gonna be black. You're gonna be black. Oh, okay, I missed the sheep, but whatever. You're gonna be brown. And, okay, this is concerning. You're gonna be brown too. There we go. Now we've got a decent variety of sheep. Oh, and fun fact, this is Java. It's funny, it's kind of sad, like, I love my knowledge. Like, I know loads of cool things that I'm not sure if they'll work here. But we'll breed a sheep that's black all the way. And then we'll breed a sheep that's white all the way. Okay, come on. And then we breed the two sheep together. And it makes a grey baby on a... Oh, it makes a black baby here. Interesting. That's not how the real world works at all. Trust me, I have seen it firsthand. Okay, so you can see, we got some good stuff going on here. Our sheep farm, it's going to be growing pretty epic. And epic as in, like, big. It's kind of a shame, like, I actually, like, accidentally, and also on purposely sometimes, I use the word epic to mean, like, big. Because that's what epic means, like, an epic thing, a big, you know, an epic. But, like, to most people, they know, like, epic as, like, oh, yeah, that's so epic, lol. And it's like, I mean, there's more than one reason to say it. It's different, but whatever. That's a whole own separate baloney, whatever. It's a thing that is a thing. But yeah, I've been loving the fact that the restaurant process is so unfriendly. I love just being able to go somewhere and just be like, you know, I'm gonna pay on my phone. Because even when I go with one other person on like a date, it's like, you know, or a dinner date if it's a guy. I don't know why you call it a date if it's opposite sex, and dinner date if it's a guy. Because I feel like you don't go on dinner dates with women, and you don't go on dates with your friends. Whatever. That nomenclature in English aside, I did want to. I really like going out, and like if I'm out with someone, it's like, okay, we're done now. Let's leave now. Not, oh, we're done now. How about we wait 5 minutes for someone to be able to see us? Then we're inconveniencing their day, and then they hate the fact that you're using card because they know if you pay them cash, they can get, you know, potentially tipped, which they can then, you know, not report as you know, there's all these separate steps, and it's like, okay. Instead of all of that, it's just like, oh yeah, pay, I'm gone now. And yeah, I'm excited about that, and I think that's cool. And every single restaurant that doesn't do that, it's going to be the equivalent of self-checkout, where like, why... Okay, actually... So I want to clarify, this is going to be the meanest thing, or meanest sounding thing I say, if you're a waiter or waitress that loves what they do beyond anything else. If you are a waiter or waitress, there'll always be a place for that at high-end places. So if you actually like your job, then you probably will be kept. But I want to say, I always sound like, I never want to sound rude because I know like someone out there is like, you know, in love with their thing, and they're like, hey Toy Cat, that's rude. I wait tables and I love it. But it's gonna be one of those jobs that you're like, why did we have that again? Like someone to take food from the kitchen to the people, and then also take orders, but then they need to be funny because reasons or something. You know, it's kind of like just a weird, like, oh, that's a thing, I guess. Like technology, it's like I said, like being able to guess the future. If I could invest in companies that like made apps, their stuff, like in the UK, Weatherspoons is the same, but it's a pub, like a bar where you can buy drinks and stuff via an app. It's amazing. It's the future. It makes the present look like terrible. I don't know what simile I was going to go for there, but yeah, I love that this stuff exists, and I think that's a fun thing, and I think it's going to probably exist in a lot more places in the future. So just something to keep in mind. Sorry if you work in the service industry. Again, I have nothing but respect, but yeah, I want to talk about so like I said, restaurants are so set up for the group experience. Like, oh, we're a group of 16 people for my birthday, for whatever reason. Like, I guess that's where they make most of their money, and maybe that's why they'll cater to it so hard. But I've always thought it's so weird that, like, not only on the restaurant side, but in, like, a conversation side, a group of 16 people is so different to a group of 6 people. But a group of 6 people is so different to a group of, like, you know, 2 or 3 friends, which is different to just you and one other person, which is so different to, like, how you think by yourself. Like, I spend a lot of time thinking because, like, that's what my brain does. I was thinking earlier about, I was thinking about how clean my glasses were, and the fact that, like, are you meant to be able to see through them? And, like, have I been cleaning them wrong this whole time if I haven't been able to? But, you know, I have lots of thoughts all the time about lots of things. But one of the things that I realize is that, like, a lot of times when people have conversations, they're effectively having conversations with themselves. I don't think that's a good thing. That's not an encourageable thing. You should ideally be having conversations with the people around you, if you can avoid it, of course, or if you can make that happen. But yeah, a lot of people have conversations with themselves, and just the other person's there as like a proxy to fill in. And when you're in your head, you can purely do that. And I've never understood, like, some people I don't think some people understand that, like, you can think by yourself and have a fully fledged conversation in there if you really want to. If you want to, like, weigh up the pros and cons of something, you are great company to yourself. You know who knows you best? You. So, like, some people, like, do that in, like, a 2-person conversation, but in a 3-person conversation, it's a bit different, which is different to, like, 16 people together. And, I think one of the weird things is that, like, I think you get a higher quality of conversation with less people. Whenever I like, used to speak to people on Xbox Live party chat, back in the days, an 8-person party would just be mayhem. Like, this isn't fun. This is just us happening to be in the same social, virtual space together. Whereas, obviously, if you're in a... Also, we're going to go back to the cow farm. Breed them as well, because today's just breeding fun. Whereas, if you're in a group of, like, a few less people, you're actually, like, getting to know each other and actually, like, sharing experiences and doing all the stuff that makes, I feel, like, human interaction great. That was dangerously close to death. So yeah, it's just something to consider. I've always thought, like, because I always prefer having relatively fewer friends, but having higher quality relationships, and that's not the normal trend. Most people are the polar opposite of that, which, that's fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like, be friends and do whatever you want with whoever you want. Like, that's not my issue, not my problem. And I wish you the best if you do any of those things. However, one of the things I've always thought is a bit odd is the fact that, like, I think, like, to make friends with so many people, you have to like them for, like, very basic reasons on the surface. Which everyone likes anyone for those reasons anyway, but, like, you have to just be like, oh, this is a person who is a person, and they are vaguely the same age as me. Let's be friends. And that's fine. That's wonderful. I like people that are willing to be friendly and assume a friendship, because then you can be friends with them and then kind of, like, work backwards from there. But I've always thought, like, if, based on the fact that I have relatively few friendships, if I lived somewhere that, like, had less people, if I lived in a village of, like, 10 people, I don't think I'd have a friend at all. I'd just be, like, in my head the whole time. Because it's hard finding someone that, like, you necessarily get along with in a way that is also... That's nice. I got a trident. In the weirdest way possible. But I got a trident. It counts just the same, right? But yeah, it's one of the weirdest things, in my opinion, is that, like, like, basically finding people is just, like, you have to run across enough people in your life, and then you have to like them. And that's why I've been so grateful for this YouTube channel, because having an audience of whatever YouTube's audience is, like a billion people, even though most people who watch the videos don't like them, the fact that you and whoever else is watching right now with you have liked this video enough to, stick around to the end of it, it's something I'm really grateful about YouTube for. And I want to just mention that at the end here, just a little, like, I'm glad you exist. If you think there's no reason for you to exist, then I'm glad you do. I think you're cool. If we met up in real life, over, say, a Five Guys, because that's the only way to meet up in real life, I'm sure it'd be wonderful. I can't guarantee that we ever will. In fact, I'm certain, statistically speaking, we won't. But yeah, it's kind of cool that that's how that works. If I ever do, like, some form of, like, tour, or again, not tour. I wouldn't do a traditional tour because that's not my thing, right? But yeah, it's something that I have considered, and it's something that I just wanted to, because I've been especially grateful for it recently. So thank you for watching this video and for allowing me to be the weird internet cat that talks about winning the lottery, and also all the other things that you've learned about today, such as cocoa beans. And also, I would rather have 200 cows than a Lamborghini. I've decided on the spot right now, if you were to offer me 200 cows or one Lamborghini, I think I'd take the 200 cows, just because, that meat is going to age quite well. You can use the cows to make more cows. That's the craziest thing, like, because cows make more cows, that's their real value, which would make it sound like they'd be worth nothing. But cows are complex, okay? Let's not think about it too much. Let's instead... Oh, wait, okay, I've got to do this. This is, like, glide level stuff. I'm going to fly through this cavern. Up here. Yeah, look at that. And thank you very much for watching today's video. Episode of the Let's Play Update Adventures thingamajig. You can like it if you liked it, because it helps out the channel. Let us know you do like the Update Adventures and want to keep on seeing more of these. Share if you really liked it. Subscribe around here. And next week, for next Monday, I will be back from Japan and Hong Kong. I won't talk about it too much, because I know people don't like... like, people in general don't like the whole travel stories. It's fine. So I'll just be talking, like, vaguely what I've been up to, and what I've been thinking about if I'm not dead. And if I am dead, then thank you for watching the very last episode of the Minecraft Let's Play, and I'll see you all never again, because I'm gone and I'm never coming back. Bye.